Three Demons, Book 2, Chapter 39, Perverted Librarian. After a day of classes, Randy, Kazuto, and Asuka decided to meet up and head to the school library. Their purpose was to gather any additional information they could find about Excalibur. I don't think we'll be able to find anything valuable here. It is a school library, after all, Randy said with doubt. Well, it's better than nothing, Kazuto responded. The trio entered the library and began combing through the books and resources related to Excalibur. The school library was a quiet sanctuary filled with hushed whispers of students engrossed in their studies. However, as they delved into their research, a woman approached them. She playfully bumped into Randy, causing him to turn and look at her with his signature blank expression. The woman wore glasses with bright blue eyes. She had a rounded face and curly brown hair that went down below her shoulders. She was very busty in her small 5'6" stature. She wore a white button-up shirt with a black school vest and a blue skirt with yellow outlines on the end of it. "Anything I can help you with?" she asked, clearly infatuated with Randy. "Oh, hey Haname, long time no see." Kazuto greeted the woman as Haname, but he got no response as she was a bit busy staring at Randy. Asuka, who was standing beside Randy, couldn't help but puff out her cheeks in jealousy. Who is she anyway? That's Haname Tojo. She's a student here working as a librarian. It seems Randy has caught her attention. Kazuto responded with a slight smile on his face. Can I help you?" Randy asked, very uncomfortable with her staring at him. "There's something off about this woman," Jake inquired in the subconscious. "Is it because she's as perverted as you? Joseph quipped in response. Haname then noticed the book in Randy's hand, a book related to Excalibur. Her expression suddenly changed, transitioning from a playful one to a serious. She then asked Kazuto and Asuka if they required assistance, her infatuation no longer at the forefront. "No thank you," they both responded, Kazuto being a lot more polite than Asuka. Alter switched to Jake. Haname's interest waned as she walked away, leaving the trio in thought. "There's something off about her," Jake concurred, looking back at her. "Absolutely, she just keeps staring at you," Asuka responds, looking at her very angrily. "No, not that. Didn't you notice that change in her expression just a minute ago?" Jake asked. "No, not that. Didn't you notice that change in her expression just a minute ago?" Jake asked, his eyes narrowed. "Are you sure she's a wielder of Excalibur? That doesn't make any sense. I didn't sense her presence." Kazuto spoke with vigor as Jake looked at him. "It doesn't matter whether she is or isn't. It's clear she knows something either way," Jake revealed as he looked down. "Well, why don't we go talk to her and ask?" Asuka reluctantly suggested to the trio. Jake then sighed and walked over to Haname, requesting to speak with her in private. Her eyes lit up with hearts, revealing her perverted inclinations. "I'll do anything if it involves you, handsome." They moved outside behind the library, away from prying eyes and listening ears. Jake stopped walking once they reached behind the library and turned to her. "Listen, I know you know something about Excalibur, so spill it." Haname smirked. "Ah, so you're both hot and spiritually aware. Quite the man." Haname then held out her hand, a light surrounding her as a bow formed in her hand. "You see, this fragment is known as Brahma. It's a bow that allows me to harness magic with. Also, you don't need to hide it anymore. I already know your demons. You guys really aren't great at hiding your presence," Haname revealed to Jake as he felt a sting to his pride. Asuka and Kazuto, sensing the emergence of Haname's bow, rushed out to join them. Haname casually waved at them, her demeanor shifting once more. Kazuto's expression became serious. "So you are a wielder of one of the fragments of Excalibur?" Haname smiled while holding up two fingers. "That's right." "Listen, we're gathering the fragments. There's a fallen angel who goes by Bracul who's trying to revive Excalibur. And if he does, it could mean the end of this world. The leaders of the 5 races are meeting here in 2 weeks, and they want you to be there," Kazuto explained, leaving Haname surprised for a moment. She then smiled. "Of course, it's my duty to protect Excalibur at all costs, and I'll do anything to assist you in your mission. Especially if it means I get to be closer to this hottie," Haname says as she leans in closer to Jake. "Is she challenging me?" Jake asks himself. "Yes!" Joseph quipped once more in the subconscious. Asuka, who was clearly jealous, approached Jake and wrapped her arm around his, catching him off guard. "Stop acting so creepy around him." Haname couldn't resist a challenge and asked, "Oh, is it that the two of you are dating?" Both Jake and Asuka blushed in response, not saying anything. Suddenly, a voice interrupted them. "Seems you enjoy wasting time, Randy." They looked up to see Malachi, a boy wearing an eye patch over his right eye and white hair. He was perched on top of a ledge connected to the library. His stern expression was a clear indication that business was about to get serious. Jake looked up with a serious expression as he opened his hand. Suddenly, he then appeared next to Malachi, refusing to look at him as he leaned against his scythe. "Can I ask who the hell you are?" Jake asked with that serious tone of his. "They call me Malachi, but there's no need to introduce yourself. I already know who you are." Malachi responds as a sound of clinking is heard. Jake turns and notices ring-like bracelets hanging off of both of Malachi's arms. There were 10 of them in total, 5 on each arm. Malachi then stood up. "You heard the librarian. We need to leave. Since you're so awful hiding your presence, I don't want others to know what we're doing." Jake's eyes narrowed as Joseph spoke up. "Oh, I can't wait to beat this guy's ass." End of chapter 39.